Mega drop this week. We've got everything from the new Respect Series 74 from Megabass all the way to our favorite terminal tackle solution from BKK. Let's get into this one. All right, guys, how's it going? It's Travis here from Tacklebros, aka Tackle Prez. If you guys want to give me a follow, please do. Joined always by Ashton at QTR_46. And then all of our official stuff is at Tacklebros Fishing. Everything's linked below, so you don't have to go anywhere. You just go down, click it, boom, boom, come back. We can hang out some more. This is our weekly Thursday night edition of the drop. So Thursday, 7:30 Eastern Standard, we kind of get together. We show you guys all the new stuff that's come in, new colors, products, everything like that. Hang out for a little bit. And this week's no different. So this week we have a pretty big week from brands like Megabass, BKK. We got some Spro back there. So it should be a pretty good one. Now, in the next coming weeks, we're going to start to turn back on our, adding another video or two, depending on what the schedule allows. I kind of jinxed it last week saying that it was heating up. It instantaneously went to like -20 over the weekend here, Celsius. So pretty cold. I'm hoping that by the time we get home, it's sort of broke and we can get back into the pluses. Last year, I think we were able to go fishing April 9th. So that's the goal this year, is to sort of be on Lake Ontario for the early season, April 9th. Finally get to catch some fish after, how long has it been? 5 months?
At least.
That's brutal, man. So another thing that we were able to do earlier this week was sit down with Dan Miguel from Great Lakes Finesse. You guys know how much we love Great Lakes Finesse, sort of grassroots brand. Dan's from the area. We fished a ton of tournaments against him. Good friend. We did a dedicated video where we sat down with Dan and broke down the entire Great Lakes Finesse coming soon stuff. So all of this stuff is going to be available on Monday as the video comes out. So the video is going to come out Monday, 9 a.m. Everything will be in stock online and in store, ready for you guys to purchase. Hopefully we got enough of it. If not, I know we have a restock coming of a lot of the stuff that we're already out of, along with a bunch of the new stuff that may have sold out. I'm predicting some things. They've done another amazing job. Now, the thing I like about Great Lakes Finesse is they don't do weird little things throughout the year. They kind of culminate everything. They take at least a full year to test and make sure everything is working exactly how they want. In some cases, you're going to hear us talk about it, 2 full seasons. So this is the time when they drop it. This is after that full season. They've developed everything. They've got everything dialed in all throughout the winter. Around the Bassmaster Classic, they get everything they've been working on. They get it ready, send it out to dealers. And then the date this year is the 10th. So if you're a fan of Great Lakes Finesse, March 10th, we are going to have a full video coming out explaining everything. Head over to the website. It's all going to be available for you to purchase. And yeah, we had a great time with them.
Oh, great time.
Yeah, we kind of hung out for like 3-4 hours just talking about tackles. So if you're a Great Lakes Finesse fan, check that out. Let's get into some of the products that we have this week. I'm going to start off with the Respect Series from Megabass. So this is the best one. So this is Respect Series 74 Matcha Head. Now, this is originally released in the early 2000s. They only did it in this guy. I think it was this guy, or maybe a Pop X. I'm not sure, can't remember. It's only ever been done in topwater, basically. So they did this in a handful of topwaters. Let's take out everybody's favorite. Let's just do it. This is the Respect Series 74 from Megabass Matcha Head. Now, the name, it's coming from this right here. If you guys have never had a matcha latte, you're sort of missing out. It's kind of electric. Oh, yeah. And it's going to have this orange belly. And then if you can see, sort of right in the middle, it's going to have a nice gold little flash. It's a unique color, let's put it that way. It's maybe not my favorite. It almost looks like we've been talking about this the whole time. It almost looks like, in Vancouver when they do the salmon runs and you see like all the salmon laying all over the place and it's just the head with the pink left in the body, right? If you're around fish that love orange, this is gonna be a great one for that. That little gold hit is pretty badass though, in my opinion. And they actually did it in a lot of really cool, different baits. Now, Respect this is the monthly drop that Megabass always done. This is one that we didn't actually get a lot of. I think maybe it's because, between this and the other stuff that they kind of dropped this week, there was a lot going on with Megabass right now. So I'm just gonna show you guys everything that came out in. If you see it, Hopefully we got some in stock for you. I'm going to start right here with the Vision 110. So there's that guy. We also have the +1. You know what I've liked recently, dude? They've almost done all of the Respect Series colors in the good jerkbaits. So you
100%.
get +1s, junior +1s, juniors. No different for this one. So there's the junior, looks nice in that. And then the junior +1. So the longer nosed brother. Is that what we'll say? It's the longer build brother.
Okay.
They're brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers.
And then we're even getting the X Nanahan 75. So this is a great little. If you're looking to downsize a Vision 110, you're looking for a very, very almost the same. This is the same guy if you're looking for the action. Let's go. We'll do this one. Switch. So we don't see very many in the Switch, so it's cool to see that. Mega Dog X. So this is the 180 mil, 2.5 ounce big top water. We're gonna have the Griffin Zero, as well as the Griffin SR. I know a lot of you guys have been big fans of the Griffins. I'm hoping we get a big Griffin restock here soon. Griffins are kind of sick, and Megabass crankbaits have been kind of doing some things lately. So I'm gonna finish the colors first.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm just getting out of control here, man. Baby Pop X, Pop X, Pop Max. So this is what it was originally dropped in the early 2000s. Giant Dog X, and last but not least, the Dog X Speed Slide. So tons of different options. If you're into the color, they're available now. Unique one from Megabass.
Very unique one.
Yeah. Also, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the Okeechobee event where Polnick sort of dominated, like absolute domination on those bigger style crankbaits. Big M 4.0s, and then the other one is a unreleased Megabass crankbait at the moment. I don't have any information when it's coming out. Hopefully soon. We've seen prototypes of it. We've seen it at the Osaka. Yeah. So those will hopefully be coming out soon. But the Big M, which I'm hoping we're gonna get a restock on in the next like 2 weeks or so. So if you're in Florida and you're trying to recreate that, hopefully we'll have some Big M's for you coming shortly. All right. Also from Megabass, kind of not expanding on the jerkbait side, but some color additions that are here today, gone tomorrow. They sort of do this with a bunch of them. We're gonna have GLX Rainbow, and then we're also gonna have Aurora Reaction. So two opposite ends of the spectrum colors, but two awesome colors. So if you guys are around smallmouth or fish that like loud colors, if you're in, this is kind of, you can fish this in stained or clear water. So this is Aurora Reaction. It's a really beautiful see-through bait. It's gonna have a purple hue on the side, a bright chartreuse back, orange belly, a little bit of blue up near the head. We've had this in a handful of times. This time they're gonna release it in the Vision. They're also gonna do the Vision +1, and then both of the juniors. So like I keep saying to everybody, Junior +1 is pretty much my starting point for jerkbaits at this time in my life. I love seeing all these baits starting to come out in Junior +1s. Juniors are obviously great, and then the classics. You got the Vision, you got the +1, and then they're gonna do the exact same thing with that GLX Rainbow. If you guys are on trout fisheries, if you guys are on anywhere they eat little guys like this is gonna be an awesome one for you. This is a beautiful color. So it has that GLX, which is more like a glitter style of, I don't know if it's a top coat or what they've done, but it's a phenomenal sparkly color. So clear water, sun's gonna reflect off this, send out a bunch of little rays of golden sunshine. You know what I mean? You guys could see what Ashton's doing right now. It's crazy. Again, Vision +1, we're gonna have it in that. And then the two little brothers here in the junior and the Junior +1. So it's great to see them bringing out more SPC colors into the juniors and the +1s. I love what they've done with the Respect by including the 4 jerkbaits, and obviously it's nice when they throw a Nanahan in there, but it's great seeing all these guys in the 4 different models. If you guys are a fan of any of these colors, they're available now while supplies last from Megabass. Now, if all that didn't get you excited, maybe these will. This is something that we actually have a very hard time stocking. I don't know if Megabass has a hard time making them or it's unavailable. We've seen 4 colors in the Karashi come back into stock. I'll run through the colors and we'll talk about it. This is gonna be GLX Frozen Pink, so a really nice sort of soft whitish pink color. It depends on what you hit in the light. If you're hitting it kind of from the bottom, it's going to be clear with a slight pink. If you're kind of looking at it more down, it's going to be more pink. A little bit of yellow hit on the belly, which is pretty cool. This one is going to be Kasumi Ito KS. So again, should I take this one out? It's too hard to explain in the package.
It looks so cool.
Such a beautiful little parcel. This is my personal favorite one from this. Just decided now. So again, a little bit of blue. You're gonna have that sort of scale pattern on the black in like a bronzish color. And then yellow hit on the belly. They don't miss with these colors on these. Like every single one is phenomenal. Ah, this might be my favorite. I can't decide, man. This is the HT Setsuki Chi Ayu. So just a great little Ayu pattern. If you're looking for something with a little bit more purple in it, this is gonna be the one. And then HT Ito Wakasagi. So again, a phenomenal Wakasagi pattern. This has more of the fine scale pattern on the back that they do periodically. Clear, most of them are gonna be mostly transparent. If you're not familiar with Karashi, this is kind of the #1 BFS, downsized, small sort of top water. It's really fun to use, let's put it that way. It also gets a ton of bites. Every time we get these things in, they just liquidate out. So super excited to see these back in stock from Megabass. I believe next month we'll also have some more colors, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're a fan of Karashi, those are in stock now. And then also, speaking of like smaller, I mean, this isn't the smallest size, but we got a handful of Grand Sigletts back in. So this is their, obviously, Siglett style topwater walking bait. Just maybe 4 or 5 different colors in those. So again, if you're a fan of Siglett fishing, bug fishing, this one's pretty cool. It has a fur fin. I'm gonna take it out. It has a fur finish on the bottom. So they really go above and beyond to like make these things realistic, unique, whatever you want. But this is yeah, fur on the bottom of a bait, man. Who would have thought? They do this with a bunch of them too, so it's pretty cool. Katsuage out barbs come back in 4 and 6. So if you're looking to replace your Visions, you're gonna go with the size 6. Pretty much most of the top waters and stuff like that are all size 4. They don't actually use Katsuages on the like Pop Max or anything like that, but if you're a really big fan of these out barb style hooks, you can definitely change them out. And then something we've been out of stock of for a long time, Okashiras and Okashira screw heads. I pretty much got every color and every size back in stock. This is one of my favorite ways to catch smallmouth in the early season. So it's essentially a spy bait head. If you throw a little 3-inch spark shad on the back of this thing, it's lights out. Those are, again, pretty much every size, color is back in stock in both the screw head and just the standard Okashira without the blade. All right, so for some reason, us getting our hands on bigger bait manufacturers has kind of been an issue. I don't know if it's because we're in Canada or they don't think. We grew up throwing big baits. I am a like muskie fisherman first. That's how I started fishing. I mean, all I throw is, we throw big 10-inch glides and all this crazy stuff. Thankfully, Spro is willing to send us some of the KGB Chad shads. So we're gonna have the bone color back in stock. The gizzard shad is gonna be back in stock. Ghost perch, sort of classic color for up here. Thread fin, so most of the colors are back in stock. If you're not familiar with the KGB Chad shad, one of the most badass resin baits that he collaborated with Spro to make it more readily available, a little bit more affordable. Same awesome action on it. It's a really easy, you know, if you're getting into that 180 size glide bait, this is a great one to start with. Fairly inexpensive in glide bait standards. If you're throwing big swim baits, you know they can get out of control if you're looking at Hinkles and stuff like that. But fairly inexpensive for a glide bait. It's gonna have a brush tail. They have phenomenal, easy working action in the water. Just a phenomenal product from KGB and Spro. All right, next up from BKK, our most popular storage solution in, the last year and a year-ish or something like that. This is the BKK OCD starter. So this is the one that's gonna come with a bunch of those little boxes that you need to complete this set. This is the empty one, so no hooks. You're gonna be able to use your BKKs, your gamies, your owners, your decoys, your whatever you wanna use. You can make this one your own. This, in my opinion, is the best storage solution. We've done a whole video on this. I'll get Ashton a link in the description that you guys can go back and reference some of the stuff that, you know, we put in there. I put everything from hooks, weights, swim bait heads. I'm really hoping they'll make a double wide because that would make everybody very, very happy. I have put that suggestion in, so hopefully they hear me. But honestly, everybody knows that hook storage can be a major problem. You never quite know which one you're grabbing. You got all these labels, you got Sharpies all over the place. You're cutting out parts of the package to put it in the bottom. This one solves all that. It comes with labels for everything. If you run out of little cases for there, you just buy some more. You put the labels on yourself. You can write exactly what it is. We had this in another video where I was refilling mine. It's super, super simple to do. It's the best storage solution for terminal tackle I've ever found. So the starter kits from BKK are back in stock. Also from BKK. So this is going to be the long shank drop shot hook. So if you guys are power shotting, this is going to be a phenomenal option for you. That's a really good example of a power shot right there.
Right there.
Get in there.
I got it.
So this is basically what you do power shotting. It's like Texas rig drop shotting. If you're around grass, if you're in any sort of cover, you can really shoot a drop shot in there. You just up your line, you up your rod, and you can kind of use it's like a power finesse way to fish. I do a ton of it. Now, the other thing you can do, let's say you're using like a 4-inch, 4.2-inch Hazadong shad or something like that. You can actually thread it onto one of these and you'll put the hook point back a little bit further into the bait. Normally, if you're using the bigger ones, it's not going to mess with the action in the tail a whole bunch. I do this generally for, a lot of the baits I do this for, but if I notice that I'm getting hit and I'm not hooking up, when I have them nose hooked, I will instantaneously switch to something like this, and I'm definitely going to try these ones out. I'll switch to something like this. I'll thread the actual bait onto the hook itself, and then from there, it normally fixes any short strikes that I have because the hook point is way further back, and it's just a great option. These are also the new Armour Point packaging, so if you have that BKK box, it's going to come with one of those plastic little holders for you. It's just going to slot right in, have all the information you want on it, so you won't have to write anything. BKK has this figured out, dude.
They got it done.
4 different hook sizes. This is a new product to us. I don't know how long it's been out. My personal favorite, number 2. We're going to have a number 1, a 2/0 size, and then all the way up to a 3/0 size. So BKK really has you covered on this. It's a cool way to, expand on a ultra finesse technique. You can really do a lot more with this guy and fish in a lot more areas that you normally wouldn't. And it comes already ready to go in that OCD tackle box, as well as everything else we're going to talk about. So the Permalock weight hooks are back in from BKK. This is basically a nail weight that you're going to push into the nose. They're going to come with nail weights already in there. It's going to come with a couple different sizes for you. You push this into your worm or your swim bait or whatever, you're going to add some weight to it, and then you're going to be able to just Texas rig it normally or belly hook it, however you want to do. And then with these, let's say you've run out of the 1/16 and you want more 1/16. Well, you can now buy the Permalock nail keepers separately. So these are going to come in, we have 4 different weight ranges in right now, all the way. We got 7/64. We're gonna have 3/32, 1/16, and then 1/32. So pretty well covers you. This isn't a replacement of a belly weighted swim bait hook, but just another option. If you're Texas rigging a Senko and you don't want to peg a bullet weight on there or something, and you don't need that much weight, you just need that little bit extra of a fall rate, and you don't want it to take away. This is a really cool option to switch to. Yeah. And again, this is the new Armour Point series, so they're all going to come pre-packaged in that little, in that little box that goes into this box. So seamless, Unity, brothers. And then all of the heavy-duty flipping hooks are back in stock. This is the 4/0. I'm usually very picky when it comes to hooks. I'm really tough to sort of change the ways and the hooks and the stuff that I'm using. BKK has really impressed me, man. I was reluctant at the start. I said, we got too many hook brands, but everything that they've been doing up to this point, they've made amazing products, and they're making unique stuff. Like, no one's really doing like this Permalock weight thing to any, what's the word I'm looking for?
To any extent.
To any extent. Thank you, sir. To any extent that I know of, you know, their flipping hooks look great, super wide gap. It's just, they're doing great. Hopefully they keep doing what they're doing because BKK has been knocking it out of the park, and we're super happy to have it in the shop. Something else I'm super happy to have in the shop, going back to my muskie roots. Now, I'm not gonna pigeonhole this just to muskie. If you throw any big baits where you have toothy fish around, this is something to look at, and something that I use a lot when I'm throwing my glides, especially on certain lakes when I know there's gigantic pike and gigantic muskie. These are gonna be the Huskie Muskie leaders. Now, I'm picky when it comes to leaders. There's a lot of different options. This is all made with premium stringies components, handmade in Canada, amazing 150-pound fluoro on the muskie leaders, and I believe 80-pound fluoro on the pike leaders. If you're gonna do something like I do, so let's just run through, I'll do this first. If you're casting for muskie, you really only need a handful of sizes. We're gonna have the 12-inch, we're gonna have the 14-inch, and we're gonna have the 18-inch. Basically, go off of number one, movement. So if you feel like you need to get a little bit further from your braid, you can just use the 18, but water clarity is probably the bigger one why you would want to go longer. We're also going to have that in a kit. So if you just want to, you know, experiment with all of them, we're now going to have the ultimate casting kit. Then if you're trolling for muskie is a huge thing. No shame in it. I'm going to judge you, but if you, you weren't expecting that. No. If you troll for muskie, it is a must to run a leader. And a long leader. So these ones are gonna start at 24 inches. We're also gonna have a 36-inch, 48-inch, a 60-inch, and if you're on Lake St. Clair, 72-inch. Basically, that's the only place you need the 72-inch, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's good to mix and match. GB as well?
Yeah.
Maybe fair. We're gonna have the ultimate kit for that as well. So each one of those sizes that I just brought up to you, these are going to be available in the ultimate kit. If you don't know what size you exactly want to go with and you just want to experiment, this is a good place to start. Maybe you just want all different sizes because you fish all over the place. Again, a good start. Or maybe you just love a 24-inch leader and you can just buy a bunch of those. Now, going back to what I was talking about with throwing glide baits and swim baits and some of these more expensive soft plastic ones that we use for you know, bass in and around areas where you have pike or muskie, basically. Those are dogfish too, I guess. But I mean, if you get a dogfish, good luck. This is what I use. So these are the Huskie Muskie pike leaders. They're going to be in 3 different sizes. This is an 18-inch leader. This is a 9-inch leader. And then the one that I use most of the time is a 12-inch leader. Now, the reason why I go with the pike ones, I don't need the loop protector when I'm fishing for, you know, bass most of the time. This is amazing for muskie because this is gonna stop it essentially. If it gets you here, it's not gonna be able to penetrate into that fluorocarbon at all. It's a great premium upgrade, but the pike ones are slightly more simple. So when I'm fishing for bass and I'm throwing, you know, big swim baits, I'm not targeting pike or muskie, and I'm kind of hoping that they don't eat it. If they do happen to eat it, this is my little bit of protection. It's still gonna have, you know, a nice crimped little loop there. It's going to have ball bearings, swivel, snaps, the whole 9, but it's just a little bit smaller. It's not get so much in your face. Muskie don't care if this is in their face. They just want to eat anything that they think, well, they're top of the food chain, so they're eating it. But for me with the bass, I can't even tell you how many, you know, Shads, DRTs, just, they're expensive. That's what it comes down to. And if you just want to do something a little extra to protect them, you can throw one of these leaders on it. If I'm in an area where they're not, I'm not going to throw these on there. But if I know I'm going to places like, I don't know,
Rito.
Yeah, like you go to Rito, man, whew, good little thing to throw on there. So the pike one's going to be in 9, 12, and 18. And then we're also going to have the ultimate pike kit, which is going to come with all 3. So again, you're not sure, grab this, figure out which one, and then you can go from there. And then if you're a fan of throwing wire leaders, specifically for your jerk baits, for the, you know, the big 8, 10-inch jerk baits, we're gonna have a 9-inch wire jerk bait. It's gonna come 2 to a pack. And then we're also gonna have a 12-inch wire jerk bait leader that's gonna come 2 to a pack. Now, if that wasn't enough for you to want to purchase one of these are also made by Chris Huskelson, who also works at the shop. He's been here since, I mean, he's first day. Chris was the second guy we ever hired here. So Chris took over this brand. This brand's already pretty established in Canada, but it's awesome that we will probably never run out of stock on these. I know it's a problem during the summertime. Muskie guys come in, grab a big handful of these. They should always be in stock now, and if they're not, you guys can message Chrissy and get mad at him. So check out Huskie Muskie leaders now in stock at Tacklebros. All right, last, let's have a look at some rods that are back in stock. Three P5s. We actually had a restock on a bunch of St. Croix rods as well, mainly in the musky-ish sort of lengths. I've seen a giant box back there, but I don't have any in my box, so I don't know which ones they are. But 3 different P5s come back in. Windbuster, Super Destroyer, and Tequila Baccarat. Windbuster, I mean, for whatever reason, there's been a lapse of stock availability on the Windbuster. Grabbed as many as they had. I don't know when they're coming back in stock. Hopefully, I feel like I said this last month, and then they just, like, 30 more popped up, and it was like, hopefully that keeps happening throughout the whole year. But if you're looking for a Windbuster, it's kind of the do-everything rod from Megabass. Tequila Baccarat, you know, F7, so sort of a extra heavy 3/4 to 4 ounce. Dude, I'm good.
Oh yeah.
And then Super Destroyer, so one of the ones with the carbon handle, dope rod. And I think that means that almost every P5 is back in stock again, so which is great. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for us this week on the drop. Hopefully you guys seen some dope stuff. We're gonna keep working away, and we'll see you guys next Thursday for the drop.